Welcome to the Life Taco podcast. With me is my co-host, Marc Gomez, social media influencer, and our guest, Andrew Igbokidi. I said that right?
You said it right.
Yes.
Oh.
I was telling Marc, I'm like, I'm from the South. I can't be saying names like
Yeah,
that.
I can't be saying that.
You nailed it, though. You nailed it.
Thank you. Andrew Igbokidi from Hot Springs, Arkansas. 22 years old, first generation American, and contestant on NBC's The Voice season 22. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. I figured we'd talk about The Voice first, and then we'd kind of get into like your life outside of The Voice too. What kind of led you to auditioning for The Voice?
So I was in my gap year. I just graduated from college, and I was like, sort of trying to figure out what I wanted to do other than apply for med school. I was applying for med school, but pretty much, I wasn't doing anything physically. It was a lot of stuff on the laptop. So, I grew up doing music. I was always in choir, musicals, all sorts of things, talent shows when I was younger, and even in high school. So I was like, maybe this is sort of an opportunity to pursue it more, because during college I didn't have as much time to perform or to really pursue music. So this was like a whole year available for me to try something. And then I got like an email from some sort of I don't know, like probably like a automatic email, that they send across to a bunch of people. And I was like, let me just see what happens.
Yeah, it's just legit.
Yeah, no, literally, because I didn't know what it was. And then I clicked on it, and it was like a 30-second audition. It was like a 30-second audition. I sang Make You Feel My Love by Adele. And like 30 minutes after, I got a email back saying like, you got to call back. And so we're going to move forward with the audition process. And that's sort of, where it took off from.
Wow, so you didn't really even think about it that much. It was just kind of like...
No, I did the audition, and I was like, whatever, like, I don't really care about that, or like know if it's going to work out, because I don't want to get my hopes up, right? I really did care about it. Yeah. But I was like, denying anything, because I just didn't want to get my hopes up. And then so when I got a call back, I was like, I still held off. It was only when after all the successive auditions that I had to do, when I got the final call saying we're flying you out to LA, that I was like, okay.
So they flew you out, and you sang When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish. What made you choose that song?
So I think a lot of people don't realize, like, we don't choose our songs. Like, we don't choose our songs. We do, but like they sent us a list for, at least for the blind audition. Once you get to the live rounds, once you get past each round, you get more choices. You know what I mean? And you get a more specific you get more autonomy over what sort of the situation is musically. But for the blind auditions, they send us a list of 500 songs, and we have to rank 1 to 12 of those songs, which ones we would want to sing. Luckily, I got When the Party's Over is my first pick. I did not think I was going to get that, because When the Party's Over is like pretty much up my alley in terms of like alternative pop, but doesn't have the R&B component that I think I also have. So I was like, they're probably not going to give it to me. They're going to give it to some pop artists, like truly pop artists. So when I got it, I was like, okay.
Is it harder to sing a song that somebody else chooses for you? Like, that seems like it'd be kind of...
No, it is, yeah, because you have an idea of what you want to do and how you want to go about it. And sometimes you have to just adjust depending on what you get.
Yeah. So you were a 4-chair turn. The first 3 turned after all you said was, "Don't you know I'm too good for you?" or "I'm no good for you." And then they all 3 turned. Like, what is that like when all these all turning for you? That's crazy.
Well, it was interesting because I actually auditioned on the fourth day, which was the second to last day of auditioning. So a lot of the spots had, been taken up. So I didn't know what the status was in terms of which teams were available for a turn at all. I was just begging and hoping for one turn. So whenever I sang like the first verse, and Blake, Camila, and Gwen, I think, turned around, I was like, okay, I have to actually sing now, like, because I hadn't even sang.
Yeah.
And
you're like one verse in.
I was like, all right, bro. And then I got to the part where I really wanted to nail this riff that I've been doing over and over again because it was such a pinnacle moment of the song. And once I nailed the riff, John turned around. So that was sort of like affirmation for me. I was like, okay, I did good. And then yeah, that was sort of what. And I couldn't stare at them. I had to look at the wall the entire time. I was like, I'm not looking down because I know if I look at them while I'm singing, it's gonna be like an issue.
How nervous were you?
What's weird is that I wasn't nervous at all before my blind audition. Like I was more nervous before my battle and for my battle, yeah. Like we all had that same experience. Like all of us were like the blind auditions we weren't that nervous for, but the battle for some reason was like another level. But I think for blind auditions, I wasn't very nervous because you were just lucky to have received an audition. So you had to put aside any sort of nervousness you had because you were just grateful to get to sing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your Carson asked like, "Who's he gonna pick?" And your mom was like, "John." she was like, "Sure, you were gonna pick John. Why did you go the other way for her with Camila or Camila?"
I said I've been telling everyone I was going to choose John, and I told my mom I was going to choose John, obviously, and all of my footage, my B-roll and stuff for the show was geared around me choosing John. If you turned around for me, which was really interesting. They like made me say things like because I wanted to choose John. So like it'd be like this big journey, and then I chose Camila. And I think I didn't realize I was gonna have a choice. I thought it was going to be John because of our R&B sensibility. I thought that would be the connection, and that would be the only choice I had. Either that or like Gwen, and that would be an easier choice. And I love Gwen, but I just think it would have been easier to choose between two compared to four. And so once I got to that situation and I heard a lot of people's, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And Carson, they cut it down to like 6 minutes. We were talking for probably 30 minutes, guys.
No way.
Yeah, they were like all talking over each other and talking to me. That made it so difficult for me because if it had been a shorter situation, I would have been able to sort of gauge what was going on. But it was a conversation, and so I think with Camila, she just spoke to like what I wanted to accomplish on the show, and they cut it out, but she was talking about certain things that I know I felt like I could have done better. Like she critiqued me a little bit, which none of the other coaches did, and that was like nice. I like that she pointed something out that I was feeling like even after the 4 chair turns, I was like still pissed about some things that I messed up, which is crazy, but that's how like hypercritical I am with myself. But yeah.
Yeah, you're a perfectionist because they mentioned you mentioned you've had 2 B's in your life and you said that I've never forgot it.
Yeah. I was surprised they used that. I forgot that I said that because it sounded so like uppity, but I really am like very perfectionist. I think that over the years I've gotten better at not being so uptight about it, but definitely like a type A student when it comes to just like academics, but also music because I want it to sound how I want it to sound.
Yeah, you said it was like 4th grade and 9th grade, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was 11th. I don't remember. I think like 3rd grade and 11th grade or something like that.
I would have been happy with a beat. I would have been happy with a beat over here.
I was happy with my C's.
Yeah, I think what it was for me is that I was just always thinking about like med school and my further like and higher education. So I was like, if I get a bad grade now, they're gonna look at that. So it was never just like an immediate grade for me. It was always like I was always thinking prospectively, like in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you when after you audition, you have to wait for a long time before it's actually on TV, and you can't tell people about it. How long was it? Like a few months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How hard is that to keep it a secret? That like you came on The Voice and like that you're going through the process and stuff now.
So that was probably like one of the hardest secrets I've ever had to keep, but also at the same time, not really because I didn't really keep the secret, guys. Like I wasn't posting about it. Obviously, we weren't allowed to put. But if someone asked me, because people were finding out in other ways, I was not lying to them. Like I was like, yeah, I am. I wouldn't tell them like my song or how many chair turns I got or anything. But I was like, yeah, I was on The Voice. So I kept the secret in like a public way in terms of posting, but I didn't really keep the secret in like a personal, private way. So that helps. And I don't really post on social media as much anyway. Until now, I have to do it, but back then I wasn't really posting that much anyway, so it really wasn't terrible for me.
Yeah, and you said they record in LA.
Mm.
Yeah, Marc just got back from LA. But
Well,
what did you have any fun there? Do anything in California?
yes. Well, yeah, I think we got to do a lot of different things, and I met a lot of cool people. I mean, I have some of the closest friends now that I met on The Voice, but I think overall, because of different procedural things, we didn't get to explore LA a bunch. Like it was like very locked down because people were getting COVID and things were happening that were affecting production. So it wasn't like I was going to, I don't know, like going to different things in LA, but it was still fun because we were in LA and we were with a bunch of singers. So we were just always having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like? Because it's kind of all at once, like nobody knows, and then like you're kind of famous overnight. Like what's that like? Like all of a sudden it just happens.
I think mine was even more shocking because my blind audition was leaked. You know, it was leaked on the Friday before my premiere date. So, you know, I was studying for an exam. I was literally studying for an exam. And all of a sudden, someone texted me. They were like, "You did so good. You sounded so amazing." I was like, "In what? Like, what are you talking about?" And they're like, "Don't tell me I'm the first person telling you you're the leak." And so they sent me the link, and then I clicked that, and I was just sitting there like,
and it got leaked on YouTube,
yeah,
or
YouTube,
wow.
Instagram, Twitter. And so that was crazy because there's only like 8 weeks in the entire season that they have to do for the blind auditions. So I don't know. I was just like, or like 5, 6 weeks or whatever. Anyway, I was just super, super. I mean, I couldn't focus on my studying either. Like, it was just such a crazy situation.
Yeah. What was your town's reaction like? I imagine that was big because they're not used to somebody from Hot Springs, Arkansas. But
Yeah. It was it was nice. I think a lot of them were very everyone's so supportive and like, you know, cheering me on and really just like rooting for me. And like people that I haven't talked to in years, like I moved around a lot when I was younger, so people that like knew when I was like 8 or something, like were DMing me some like from different states. It was really crazy, honestly.
That's really cool.
Do you have any like behind the scenes, backstage stories from The Voice, stuff that happened that?
Oh my god. There's so many. Before my knockout performance, I I have this weird thing where like before I sing, I just forget the intro to my songs. Like just simply do not remember the lyrics. And my friends and I, we share that same experience. But usually I just have to sing like the first couple of lyrics and then I know it again. But before I had the mic in my hand, I was the first to sing, and so we were just waiting for them to call us out on the stage. I could not remember my lyrics. I couldn't even remember the melody of the song.
No.
A song that I've sang like 50 times. I was like, I've never heard this song in my life. So I had to pull out my phone with the mic in hand, in line to like with my other two competitors or whatever, about to go out, grab my phone, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I had to go, and I had to listen to the song.
Listen to the song.
I had to sit there and listen to my band rehearsal tracks, and like that was such. I was like, I did not do that. That's so embarrassing. But yeah,
That's crazy.
How much time do the judges put into coaching you? Like, because they show like 5 minutes and it's like the highlights.
Mhm.
Like, do you spend a lot? Did you spend a lot of time with Camila, or like just a little bit?
So I think like on usually you don't spend as much as they show. Like it's or I'm sorry, it's about as much as they show usually. Like, you know, but for me because I just had a different schedule, I kept on being scheduled last to rehearse and just for reality with her. So because I was scheduled last, there weren't people that they had to make sure they were on time with to get to. So I spent like hours with her. My battle rehearsal was probably an hour and a half. My knockout rehearsal was probably like an hour. Like I just got lucky in that regard. So I spent a lot of time with her, which is why we got so like close and she developed that emotional connection with me was just simply based off of like the schedule availability and me getting scheduled last for everything, which was interesting.
That's awesome. Did you learn specific things from her? Like, are there things that you can think of now that like, wow, I learned this from Camila?
Yeah, I think her main thing with me was just like my belief in myself and my ability to have fun while I'm singing, because I'm very hypercritical, as I mentioned, so a lot of times that actually detracts from my ability to sing like I want to, and that was sort of the case for knockouts and partially for battles. And there are times where I think about it, I'm like, if I had just enjoyed myself more, what would have been the outcome? But that is something that I love that I can take from what she, sort of put like into me while we were on the show, was, just having confidence and just having fun, I guess, like enjoying yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, I heard her say that on the battle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think my battle, I ended up having more fun, in the end, because I was like dancing and sort of like trying to get into the moment. But my knockout song was supposed to be super sad, so I had to be in my feelings anyways. So it was just, it depends. So
Yeah, you sang. She made you sing "Dance with Somebody." Like they were all talking about, oh, that's a hard song to sing. Like, was that like really difficult for you?
um anything Whitney Houston's gonna be like, come on, bro. But because she did this specific arrangement that wasn't like Whitney's original classic, it was like it had the bones of the song, but it was a stripped down, more like acoustic version, and so like it fit our style a little bit better. So it wasn't necessarily hard to sing. It just, the other factors I think make it a little bit hard, because you're doing jitters before you go on, you're doing B-roll before you go on, you're doing interviews before you go on, you're getting hair and makeup before you go on, you're getting final looks before you go on, and so people don't realize how much of that can actually affect your overall performance, because you're not just going onto a stage, grabbing a mic and singing. It's a reality competition show, so you're doing so many things around it that can sometimes take away from your attention of just trying to sing good.
Yeah. What's your overall feeling about the whole experience? Like, how do you
I
feel?
it's an overall like overwhelmingly positive feeling from being on The Voice. Honestly, like everyone's like really. I think you never know how things are going to be with like reality competition shows and just shows in general and celebrities, but it was really positive experience. I mean, The Voice, especially compared to a lot of other shows, singing competition shows, is very well-oiled machine, very kind people that work on the show, and Camila and all the judges are so down to earth and like not like how sometimes it can be with celebrity coaches. Like they're very helpful and like actually grounded. And so yeah, I've met, so I mean, everyone on the cast where I'm really close with, but in particular like four people that I'm like extremely close with.
Yeah, I was gonna ask your best friends that you made while you were there.
Yeah, so it's Kike Gomez, Perigita Bastola, Rowan, Rowan Grace, and Eric Hu.
Yeah, most of them are still in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, who do you think's gonna win? Are
Oh,
you actually still watching right now?
oh yeah, of course. My friends are on this, so I have to watch. I don't want to say because like I mean, I have three of my best friends that are still in the competition, so I can't. But one of them,
Yeah.
One of them. You don't want to say which one.
one of them.
Yeah, Team Camila's kind of got slaughtered in the last, like, she had one person left.
Yes,
Out
that's
again.
something that happened. I was like, oh my god, like there's only one person fighting, but that one person who's fighting for Team Camila is a favorite in the season. So, I think she could do it. It's just crazy that she lost. I mean, all of her team except for one person.
Yeah, in, like, the last round. So,
Hmm.
let's talk about some of these clothes that you wore. Look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, that one is.
that's shocking.
And then that one too, that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
Is that your clothes, or did they give you like a wardrobe to pick from or something?
Yeah.
Wardrobe had a field day with me. They loved dressing me like, I don't know why, honestly, but they loved putting me in different things. And so, I mean, everyone was always so jealous of the fits they were putting me in because they were like going hard, like on my fits, right? Even my reality fits, like during the rehearsals, they were going hard. I was like, hey, I'm not complaining. But some of it, the initial stuff was my blonde audition outfit was all my clothes. Yeah,
Yeah. I was wondering that, like, was that your clothes?
my blonde audition fit was, but the rest of it was all like tailored and gotten from like designer brands and different. I was like,
Yeah, the red one was like Michael Jackson vibes. Like,
right,
I
right.
bet, yeah, I messed with those.
It was definitely Michael Jackson.
Or they take them back?
They gave it to me. They
Ooh.
gave me the 2 designer jackets I wore in my battle rounds. Those things are like $700 a
That's
piece.
Yeah, the blue one was nice too. It takes some confidence to be wearing full body leather.
Mhm.
You ever wore leather pants, Mark?
No, I would fall in them, to be
I'm
honest.
like full body leather singing I Want to Dance with Somebody. I could barely lift the mic to my face. Let alone
That was
dance.
like all slow
I'm
motion.
like, I want to dance with somebody. But you know, it looked good. So anything for the price of fashion.
They asked you who you listened to growing up: Stevie Wonder, Bob Marley, Celine Dion. Who are some people, current artists, that you listen to now?
I really like Thames. I like Giveon. I like Omar Apollo, Frank Ocean. Um, there's so many more I can't think of right now, but I like Ogi. She's this OG Ogi. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but she's this Nigerian American artist that's like coming up, and I like her sound a lot. But yeah,
Do you have any music you're working on?
I do. I've been writing and recording. Actually, while I was still on The Voice, I flew to New York and I was recording there. And that was super fun. But I'm gonna be recording more in December, and I'm just writing. It's kind of hard with med school, but like I'm still finding time. I'll just literally stop studying and I'll write a song in like 5 minutes, like because that's like sort of an outlet for me. And
Do you write on notes or actual pen and paper? Like,
I have to write pen and paper. Like I have to. It just comes out better for some reason, and it feels like more real than like typing in my note. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah.
No, it does. That's a lot
Yeah.
of my music friends. They say that too. They
Yeah.
say it comes out a lot better.
Yeah, so I have my song notebooks, and
So do you have anything expected to come out like by a date?
I mean, my people want me to release something by like December, but I'm a perfectionist, guys, and I like to hold on to shit until can I say
Yeah,
I like to hold on to stuff until I know it's good. So I don't know. I don't know.
So are we talking a CD or like YouTube, or what are we talking about?
Drew,
Apple.
Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think people even use CDs anymore. Like, you really
I mean, I'm old.
you don't
See
see
what
like,
I mean? I'm old.
bro, you look like you're like 20 something. Are you not like 20 something?
No, I'm a little bit older. I'm like 30.
I thought you were like in your 20s.
I know. Thank you. I hopefully look like it.
You look very young.
We
But
cover all the generations here: teenager, 22, 30.
yeah. So I won't be releasing it via VHS tape, but I probably will do something like Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah.
VHS tape.
Sadly, Drew isn't gonna be able to listen to this.
Yeah, unfortunately, Drew, you might have to pass on my music.
Nah, that's good though. Yeah. So
Wow,
maybe we might be seeing something soon.
Yes, for sure.
Getting roasted on my own podcast.
Yeah, the fact that I feel comfortable enough to insult you, and we just met like 30 minutes ago, is so wild.
Wait, Andrew, I got a question. Okay, so has anyone like changed after, say they saw The Voice, like people in your hometown, have they changed on like to the way they act towards you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like very subtle, you know. It's
It's
not
like
like
more nice, like
yeah. And like I don't even look at my DMs, yo. That place
yeah.
that's a scary place. Like it's a scary place. I don't go there. I just don't feel safe there. And it's like a lot of people from my hometown, just like random people. And I just don't know. But like some of the DMs that I've gotten from people that I, had sort of some sort of relationship with in high school or college that really didn't treat me that well then, or all of a sudden like, hey, we should sing together. We should like
Yeah, they start reaching out again,
should we? Should we? I don't know. But especially in my requests, it's like wild, yo. It's wild. Mark, I know you're in like social media and stuff, right? So I know that you probably know the situation.
Yeah.
But it's I look at a few of them every now and then, and like honestly, like I feel like I've probably missed multiple opportunities because I just don't have like I have a publicist, but she's with The Voice, so she doesn't like read my DMs, like so I manage a lot of my social media, so it's difficult sometimes. Like I feel like I've missed a lot of shit, but I don't know.
He took a year to read my my DM.
Yeah, that took a whole year to
Bro,
read.
that's what I'm saying. Like you missed
Sorry
stuff.
about that. Nah, but yeah, would you ever like consider having a manager and like being your account? Because that's something I would like not want to do. Like personally.
Yeah. I've thought about that. I was like, do I want someone on my socials like controlling everything anyway? And I don't know that I do, but I'm working on management in general right now for like music purposes, not for like my social media accounts. So
Yeah.
that's something that I would do, but I don't know that I would do that hands-on of a social media manager because I like to have some say in what I'm posting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And how do you feel about TikTok? Like, do you post your songs on there, like your covers, and that's something you should definitely do.
Yeah, I post on TikTok, especially before The Voice. I was posting covers consistently. When you get on The Voice, you sign a contract to where you can't release any music, you can't post any music things, related things. You can't even promote old songs, which is just it's supposed to put everyone on the same playing field because say if everyone made it onto The Voice and then one person posted a singing TikTok and then went viral and they got 300,000 followers and all of a sudden they're gonna win, obviously. So it is to put people on an even playing field.
Okay.
But it kind of sucks because you just cannot produce anything creatively for like a long time. But yeah.
How long?
How long do the seasons go? Yeah.
I mean, it's the process starts in June, like late May, and it didn't end for me until a couple days ago. It was when I can start. But so literally for the past like 6 months, I
Wow.
could not produce anything, make anything. I was doing stuff in private and not posting it, but now that stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I like it anymore, because you
Yeah.
start it and it just like it loses some of its value. So, yeah.
When you're writing songs, does the music come first or does the lyrics come first?
That's a great freaking question, and I think I used to do it to where I was writing lyrics and then adding instrumentation and trying to produce it so I could have like a demo. But then I realized like it's really hard because I play a little bit of piano, but I don't play like guitar or anything. And if you don't have an acoustic instrument immediately around you, it's kind of hard to match instrumentally what you've already written. You know what I mean? So I realized that sort of finding, producing an instrumental backing track, or like playing a little melody on the keys, a couple chords in the keys, and then writing lyrics to that can actually like inform the lyrics a lot because a melody that you put out, an instrumental backing track that you put out, a lot of times already has a meaning, an emotional core, and then you just have to match it with whatever lyrics that you want. So I've been doing that as recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are some of the best concerts you've been to?
I went to a Bazzi concert. Bazzi. I don't know how to say his name, which is bad. But you guys know Bazzi? He sang "Mine."
Mine, I feel like there's a
I
lot of
just had to let you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
mine. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
so you know
okay.
that one, Drew?
yeah, I know that one.
Yeah. So I went to his concert. That was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. He's so good live. Like he sounds exactly like he does in the records, and yeah, he was really good.
Yeah. When did you discover that you have talent for music and start developing like a passion for it?
I think all my life people were saying stuff like you should like actually try to sing and stuff like that. And I never really took it seriously. And then I went through this period where I was going through puberty, so my voice just was not good. And it
Yeah.
was probably like I don't know, 5th grade to like 10th grade is when my voice was changing, and so I stopped singing like for a few years at a time. Like I just was not doing it because I didn't sound good. And so then I think like 9th or 10th grade I started to sound better. My voice was starting to come into itself, and then I sang for one of my friends, and they had like this really positive reaction that made me like I kind of turned my head a little bit. I was like, wait, so people like the way I sound. That's an interesting concept. So I started to get back into singing and like feeling more confident about it.
Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah. You mentioned being at a crossroads between music and med school when you were on when they showed you on The Voice.
Mhm.
Uh, have you kind of decided like if you're going to do one or both, or like how have you organized it kind of in your head now? Like where are you?
I'm gonna do both, and that's easier said than done. I think right now I'm just sort of riding the high of both. And it all started off like I applied to med school while I was applying for The Voice, and so I was just fingers crossed that one of them worked out, and then both of them worked out. And so now I'm sitting here with still both opportunities. One being exposure and people that I've met, connections that I've made, which are really cool. And then also just being in med school right now, and I'm on to like my second course in med school. It's a biochemistry course, and I'm doing really well in it. So I'm just like counting my blessings and just sort of trying to move forward. And if I get to the point where one takes over and the other has to fall back, then that's just going to be what it is. But for now, I'm gonna try to do both.
You might be the smartest person I've ever had on this
That,
podcast.
that was a good answer. That was a good answer.
Um, but yeah, so most of your family's still in Nigeria, was that right?
hmm
Like, how did you end up here, and how is it having your whole like family support system kind of off in another country?
Yeah, my oldest brother was born in Nigeria, and then they moved to America and had the rest of the family. I have three siblings. So I was born in Chicago, and I just I know that even though a lot of my extended family, all my extended family is still in Nigeria, I have like a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins that are in America, so that definitely helped. In terms of like growing up, we got to be 3 hours, 4 hours away from where my cousins live, so we visited a lot. I always had that sort of that familial support, but it is interesting to think about the fact that I have some aunts and uncles and cousins that I've never met, don't even know exist because they're on a different continent.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you said your grandfather was the chief of his village.
Mm.
You go there, they call you like Prince and your sister Princess. That's
Yes,
wild, isn't it? That's
that
crazy.
it doesn't even it feels uncomfortable almost because it just doesn't make sense to me. And but yeah, my grandparents they own a school in a private school in Nigeria, and so anytime we were in Nigeria visiting, they made us go to school. So like, which is so ass, guys. I mean, I spent my entire summers at times in school, and the shit that they're learning in that school is like wild. Like those people are smart for real. Like I
Really?
was in 5th grade, they were learning chemistry. I was doing like multiplication and subtraction. They were on some chemistry shit. Yeah,
That's crazy.
guys.
I learned that in like, I think I was already in high school, like ninth.
No, like, they're advanced, and they graduate from high school at 9th or 10th grade, guys. So it's like they move on to secondary school or like college level classes when they're 16. So yeah.
They have like crazy high standards there.
hmm
Yeah, and your mom's a cardiologist, and your whole family's in the medical field. What draws you into the medical field? Is it just that, or what is it that kind of draws you into wanting to do that?
I think it's a mixture, like it's a confluence of different experiences I've had in my life that led me to like pursuing medicine. But definitely seeing my mom do it made me feel like I could do it. And then also just like I worked as a certified nursing assistant for like 2 years before I applied to med school, just to see if I really wanted to do it. It was during the pandemic, and I think a lot of people weren't doing anything. I lost all my academic opportunities because no one was running anything. And so I got certified. I took the test, got certified as a nursing assistant, got a job in the hospital, worked there for 2 years. So I got to see the ins and outs of the hospital, patient dynamics with the doctors, nurses. And so it definitely it made me feel more passionate about my desire and drive to actually pursue being a physician or a doctor.
Nice. Okay. So we talked a little before we started about doing a game, a word association game with music. We'll do that, and then I'll ask a few little things, and then we'll close up. But Marc Gomez versus Andrew Igbokidi.
Let's get it. Okay. So this is a
we're gonna
versus a non-singer. So I don't know how good this is gonna be.
So we got a word, and you got to try to find a song that has that word in it. And when you find it, you sing the chorus of it. You got 10 seconds. Whoever gets first gets the point.
All right.
So, here we go. The word if.
If I could forget her, I would.
Yo,
Andrew.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I was ready. All right, that was warm up. Let's go.
Okay, next one.
You make me feel. You make me feel.
Bro,
Wow.
I can think of it so fast. I can't think of anything.
I have to
give 1 point. I have to give 1 point. Right?
That was really good though, too. Jeez. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
No one.
Hey,
that was funny.
Bro, how do you think of it? I can't think of, like, my mind goes blank right now.
Guys, it's like quick up here.
This guy's smart.
All right. Hello. Oh no.
Maybe it's you. You're the one I love. It's a Love on Top.
Well, there we go. Dang, Mark.
Dang, I just got blown out.
Wait, is that it? Wow.
Oh no, no more. Okay.
Oh, this one's kind of hard.
Forever
young. I wanna be forever young.
Yo, how did I not think of this? Like,
I got a few more for Mark to try to get on the scoreboard.
I have to
try to get him to get.
Should I pull back a little bit? Like what?
Yeah.
We'll try to get him one.
Should I go now, or should I let you go? Or...
Okay, go. If you got
this girl is on fire.
Bro, all right, Drew, you might have to sub in for me. This is crazy.
Do you want to try one more time, Mark? Or are you good?
Okay, one more. I'm gonna get it for sure. I don't know, bro. This is hard. Bro, this is harder than it looks. This is so hard. I love it when you call me Big Pop. If you're a true player.
Okay, there you go.
Let's go.
There we go.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Wow.
the only one that comes to my mind, bro.
At least you're on the board.
On the board.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
We got your social media, Instagram, Andrew Igbokidi. They might have to work on spelling it, but and then TikTok, Iggy498. That's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So just a few last things that we're gonna run through. I'll leave that up there though, so people can, and I'll also put it in the bio too. So, but yeah, a few last questions. I always like to ask these. What's something that you've learned in the last year?
I think the last year I've just learned, and I sort of mentioned this before, but I've learned to have more belief in myself and my capability. I think a lot of times it can be easy to get caught up in imposter syndrome, and any sort of like achievements or accomplishments that you have, you sort of just chalk it up to luck or circumstance. But no, you should be able to appreciate and acknowledge your efforts and how capable you are.
Cool. Long-term and short-term goals, but we kind of talked a little bit about the med field and music and all that. And do you have anything else outside of that, like short-term, long-term goals for yourself, personal, professional, whatever?
I low-key, I don't know. I don't like to say things like I'm superstitious about like putting it out there before it does whatever. Like I definitely kind of want to move into other parts of the entertainment industry as well. I feel like I have more to offer. Like I don't know. So yeah.
You do.
Thank you.
You got a bright personality. Good.
Thank you.
What's something that you'd like to tell to your supporters, all the people that voted, well, that would have voted for you,
right?
Like all the people that have been supporting you, though. What's something you'd like to tell them?
Just like genuinely from the depths of my heart, like thank you. I feel like you don't know how much support you're going to get. You don't know how much people are going to engage with you before you do these things. You just do them, and then you hope that someone latches onto it. And so the amount of messages that I've gotten, the amount of people that have told me they were in tears listening to it, doesn't make sense to me that I'm able to evoke that much of emotion out of anyone. So it really does impact you, and I just thank you. I guess it means a lot to me.
Yeah, you're my favorite, then Zach, and they put y'all against each other.
Yeah.
That was a good battle though.
And then now I'm rooting for Omar because
Omar is a beast. Like Omar is definitely whew.
Yeah, but thanks for coming on. We didn't really talk about a certain amount of time doing it or whatever, so thanks for giving us all this time with you.
Yeah.
And also, Marc, congrats on 2 million on TikTok.
Let's go.
And everybody should go watch Marc's recent YouTube video where he tracked down the person that stole his AirPods all the way in another state.
Oh,
yep. I had to go find them. That's what I went to LA for. I went to go find the person.
Really?
They stole my AirPods. I tracked them.
Did you
Got
find
them back.
You gotta watch the video.
Gotta watch the video.
But he lives in San Antonio, Texas. They went all the way to
like 20 hours.
They could have just bought new AirPods with the gas money, but
I spent like $800 alone. That was just me.
So y'all just want to go to LA, basically.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, comment. What should they comment? Like a microphone or something, I guess, if they went all the way through.
Yes.
Comment a microphone, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, thanks for coming on again, Andrew.
Yeah, it was great. It was some great talks. Good talks.
It was, right?